Everybody. Instead of sending you a million screenshots, I thought I'd just do a video since it's easier to show the screen interactions this way. So let's start with the supply library and lighting, a number of changes to this form. This is where we're going to define our lamps. The sorting has been changed, and we have a new field of technology type. And we show the wattage and unit costs. We sort by type, wattage, and then description. Here I've defined 11 records. To define a new record here, you enter in a description. Let's call this a 65 or incandescent. 65 watt a lamp. When we select the type, and here all the different types are shown. We select the type, the life in hours is filled in automatically. The lumens is not used in the energy calculations. That's there for information only. However, the wattage is used. Notice all these fields are optional because this record is being used as the source of data for the audit. Under color temperature, we have ranges rather than entering in the value in Kelvin. So that's all there is to defining a new lighting record. And once defined, it enters into the set of lamp types. So there's our new record. So let's go over to the new audit form. I've only implemented for NEAT. MIA is incomplete. But here's what the new lighting audit form looks like. And again, I've predefined some other records. So let's define a new record. Light code remains unchanged. If you tab past it, you get the next code. The room is unchanged, although I added the various rooms. And just to demonstrate, you can type anything here. Any room. So it's just a string. And this is just something to help you fill in the location of the lighting system. Similar to the way the supply library, we identify the technology first. And if you do that, then when you drop down the list on description, you're seeing that list of lamps that were defined in the supply library. You can also go the other direction. Let's just say this is blank, and you drop down the description. You get all of them. So you get all the different technology types, starting with incandescent through LED. So suppose we have a 60 watt existing incandescent lamp. And you notice when I selected that, it filled in all of the data that it knew from the supply library. So it filled in the type, it filled in the wattage, the rated life in hours, the lumens, and the color temperature, leaving just the quantity of lamps in the system and the hours of use per day. This side of the form is for existing. This side of the form is for replacement. Notice that if I fill in the lamp types, or the number of lamps for existing equipment, it brings that number over into replacement. Similarly, for hours of use per day, when I fill that in, it brings it over to replacement. And the replacement side works very much like the existing side. So we can come over here and just drop down description and see the list there's some stuff flowed off the side of the screen, the recording here, but it shows wattage and unit cost over here. What's shown here is just fluorescent and above, so incandescents are removed. So here we're going to replace a 60 watt incandescent with an 18 watt LED. And notice when I did that, it filled in the technology type, the lumens, the color temperature, the cost, the rated life in hours, but it didn't touch the quantity or the use in hours per day. So suppose we also have some delamping going on here. We only have to replace those 10 65 watt incandescent bulbs with 8 of these new LEDs, and there's some controller on there that's going to reduce the hours of operation per day from 12 to 8. So again, you can once this copy operation is done, then you can go and alter any of these fields that you want. So the auditor has complete control. And like other forms, only those controls that have solid borders are required. So this is a complete record. Everything that's solid is filled in, and that's all the information that's needed for the analysis. I haven't completed the analysis engine changes, but I did want to show you all of these features implemented in the UI to date. You know, it's easy to make visual changes here. I chose to kind of scooch these things down the form. I was kind of modeling it after the refrigerator form, where we got, you know, existing and replacement side by side. But I also wanted to line these things up. So quantities line up, size lines up, use hours per day lines up, and rated life and lumens and color temperature. All that stuff lines up left to right. I could probably scooch some of this stuff over here to make it the connection more obvious. And I could probably, you know, scooch everything up to include these two fields in the existing equipment. But I think this is a good start for our review.